Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Wednesday, May 12th, at 3:25 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 678 headlines from 106 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. Hong Kong, top cop caught in unlicensed massage parlor raid. Lawyer Jamie Harpootlian of Columbia being vetted for State Department post, sources. Restaurants and pubs are reopening inside, but what are the rules? An anti-vax conspiracy theory is apparently making anti-maskers consider masking up, social distancing. Trevor Noah has a message for Israel. What is your responsibility? Over 100 Republicans threaten to form third party unless GOP breaks from Trump. Despite televised denial, Caitlyn Jenner did vote in 2020, records show. UN seeks proposals to end force on Sudan South Sudan border. Florida and Virginia governors declare state of emergency over growing gas shortage. Colorado gunman killed 6 at party as he was not invited. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. COVID-19 live updates. Indian coronavirus variant has now spread to almost 50 countries, says WHO, The Washington Post. Mice in Australia seen raining from sky in viral video, Fox News. Escalating Mideast violence bears hallmarks of 2014 Gaza war, The Associated Press. EU court rejects an order for Amazon to pay back $300 million in taxes, CNBC. A huge moment, US gives go-ahead for its first major offshore wind farm, CNBC. Perseverance rover is ready to unlock the history of Mars, CNN. Colonial Pipeline gas shortages worsen as lines grow at the pump, Fox News. Dua Lipa's Brit Awards outfits channel UK pop icons, CNN. Talon Horton Tucker's dagger gives Lakers thrilling win over Knicks in Game of the Year candidate, CBS Sports. Florida cheerleader, 13, was stabbed a horrific amount of times, sheriff says, New York Post. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. How New York could build publicly owned electricity without taking over dirty plants. Rep. Liz Cheney helped create Trump's GOP. Grace Young, most people have no idea how much Chinatowns are hurting. GOP hypocrisy over cancel culture laid bare in MSNBC Supercut. Marjorie Taylor Greene's tweet attacking the squad is actually a stunning cell phone. Ex-prosecutor spots really good indication Trump's about to face the law. Ex-Senator Jeff Flake explains how GOP has brought U.S. to low and dangerous place. Chris Cuomo goes to town on Ted Cruz, proof that politics makes you stupid. Jimmy Kimmel shows just how truly bizarre MyPillow guy's latest rally really was. Rep. Matt Gaetz's clueless attack on Rep. Adam Kinzinger spectacularly backfires. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. 350 plus animals seized from property. PD, babies abducted during shooting safe. Drought could impact drinking supply. Video shows deputy open fire on man with knife. Son follows in fallen officer's footsteps. Police get help from Facebook group to ID suspect. Golf course transforming into arboretum. Mom sentenced in diabetes death. Bridge closed for public safety, situation evolving. High school principal removed. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, The New York Times. Why rising U.S. consumer prices could mislead. Live updates. Virus variant in India might be more infectious, WHO warns. The untold story of the NFT boom. Liz Cheney embraces downfall, offering herself as a cautionary tale. Sign up, coronavirus briefing. How do we fight disinformation? With hugs and haircuts, U.S. epidemiologists start returning, carefully, to everyday life. Experts call for sweeping reforms to prevent the next pandemic. Ignoring the lie emboldens the liar. Over 100 Republicans, including former officials, threaten to split from GOP. The following headlines are from the 6th most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. Battered Biden under siege as crises confound the White House. NFL schedule release 2021, how to win $5,000 for free. Greg Jarrett, it's time to crush big tech censorship before Facebook, Twitter and others crush us. Protests break out across U.S. as violence escalates between Israel and Hamas. Padres hit by COVID-19 concerns, 5 players out, beat Rockies. Lux's 3-run homer in 8th rallies Dodgers past Mariners 6-4. Magbum keeps rolling, Diamondbacks beat Marlins 11-3. Warriors rally for second straight night, beat Suns 122-116. Mice in Australia seen raining from sky in viral video. Kings complete sweep of Thunder, still hope for playoffs. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Wednesday, May 12th. The next headlines are from the 7th most popular news website, with 63 million estimated monthly unique visitors, CBS News. Like mother, like daughter, Katie Austin joins forces with mom, DVD fitness queen Denise Austin. Stimulus check update, is a 4th relief payment coming? Watch, Cast of Siesta Key preview season 4 on MTV. This is not just any usual recovery, economist explains rush of price hikes, product shortages. The next headlines are from the 8th most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. Language started with iconic sounds and not charades-like gestures, study claims. Minister hints tiered lockdowns are still on the cards amid rise of COVID hotspots in the north. Pictured, hero schoolboy, 9, killed by lightning strike on football field raised $2,500 for charity. India installs net across gangs to catch floating corpses of COVID victims after bodies washed up. Tony Blair warns labor is being destroyed by woke left. Driver, 39, banned from roads for 20 years is jailed for pretending to be his twin brother. Hero police officer who was nearly killed by Novichok sues his own force for accident at work. AstraZeneca rocked by revolt over boss Pak Hassel Soviet's 18-mp deal. Members Club Annabelle's reopens with an immersive Gustav Klimt exhibition. 8 Divine UK B&B set amid glorious gardens from the Highlands to Somerset. The following headlines are from the 9th most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is the Washington Post World News Feed. As violence in Israel and Gaza plays out on social media, activists raise concerns about tech companies' interference. Lester L. Wolf, Democrat who influenced U.S. Taiwan policy, dies at 102. Here's how rockets from Gaza test Israel's Iron Dome. What's behind the violence in Israel and Gaza? In Iraq, powerful militias assassinate protesters with impunity. Expert panel says mistakes led to coronavirus pandemic, but stops short of holding countries' leaders to account. Israel steps up Gaza offensive, kills senior Hamas figures. As ethnic violence rocks Israel, Arabs cite deep grievances. COVID-19 live updates, CDC panel recommends coronavirus vaccine for 12 to 15-year-olds. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors. The Guardian. This is The Guardian's US news feed. Stocks rise as UK economy rebounds in March with 2.1% growth. Business Live. Coronavirus Live News. India variant found in 44 countries. WHO. Taiwan faces new outbreak. California's recall election. How does it work, and will Gavin Newsom survive? COVID pandemic was preventable, says WHO commissioned report. Liz Cheney expected to be removed from House leadership over Trump criticism. America has a new national park, but not all the locals are happy about it. 144, ESPN's documentary about the WNBA bubble rises to the occasion. Israel-Gaza violence, death toll rises as UN envoy warns over escalation. Pressure grows on UK to apologise over 1971 Belfast killings. Great White Review, hanged shark thriller gets stuck in the shallows. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors. ABC News. Cheney blasts Trump's election lies before vote to remove her from leadership. Submerged car with body inside found in search for missing mom, police say. Man who spent 22 years in solitary confinement fights to end the practice. Houston Tigers' whereabouts remain a mystery as jailed man says he's not the owner. Prosecutor seeks hate crime charges, death penalty in spa shootings. 5 young migrant children found abandoned at US Mexico border. Suspect killed 6 at birthday party after not getting invite, police say. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors. The BBC News. Israel-Gaza, fears of war as violence escalates. Spooky Finding Nemo fish washes up on California beach. What are Eid and Ramadan and when are they? Taliban capture Afghan district ahead of Eid ceasefire. Air France crash, trial ordered for Airbus and airline over 2009 disaster. Liz Cheney faces vote to remove her from Republican leadership. How did a cyber attack lead to long queues for petrol in the U.S.? Nature, throwing money at biodiversity schemes is ineffective. Zimbabwe's plan to outlaw unpatriotic acts. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors. USA Today. AP top stories May 12th. Escalating violence engulfs Israel and Gaza. Besieged public servants are exhausted. Vets backlogged, weary from COVID pet doom. Today in history for May 12th. Is another stimulus check coming? Maybe if you live in California and make less than $75,000. Liz Cheney says Trump backers threaten democracy. In California, Newsom pushes $12 billion to end family homelessness in 5 years. We've got children orphaned. Police name 6 victims of Colorado Springs birthday party shooting. 3 Fort Campbell soldiers charged after guns in pipeline traced to Chicago mass shooting. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors. The LA Times. He was injured during BLM protests last spring. Now he's suing the Los Angeles Police Department and his uncle on the force. COVID-19 vaccine appointments for Californians ages 12-15 could begin Thursday. Battered coyote pup rescued by hikers in Palm Springs is en road to extraordinary recovery. New civilian discipline panels more lenient on accused Los Angeles Police Department officers, review fines. Family wants federal inquiry of Alameda Police and death of Mario Gonzalez. How is your workplace handling the COVID-19 vaccine? Brush fire in Cajon Pass spreads to 11 acres, threatening gas and power lines. Hundreds in Orange County protest COVID vaccine passports. You're not going to brand us. 2 California police officers fatally shot in less than 24 hours, third wounded. DACA recipients launch legal battle to clear hurdles from the ultimate prize, citizenship. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Wednesday, May 12, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More from other news sources is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. Shark advocates cheer UK's banning of shark fin trade. 2 Arab Israelis, father and daughter, killed in lot from Hamas rockets this morning. Animals to be formally recognized as sentient beings in UK law. At least 35 killed in Gaza as Israel ramps up airstrikes in response to rocket attacks. Goldman Sachs executive quits after making millions from Dogecoin. Queen announces that voters will need photo ID for general elections in Britain. Israel calls on Biden administration to stay out of Jerusalem crisis. Hamas rockets hit Tel Aviv as Israeli airstrikes on Gaza continue. Japan, US, France hold first joint drills on Japanese land. Living fossil thought extinct for 273 million years found thriving on ocean floor. Largest 13-story residential building in Gaza collapses after Israeli airstrike. Netanyahu declares state of emergency in law due to widespread and violent rioting. This is the first use of emergency powers over an Arab community in Israel since the end of the military administration over the Arabs of Israel in 1966. Brazil Amazon, illegal miners fire on indigenous group. Lab-grown meat firms attract 6-fold increase in investment. Israeli energy pipeline hit as Iron Dome fails to intercept missile. The next headlines are from Forbes. Under the Iron Dome, the problem with Israel's rocket shield. Luxury meets confetti as Selfridge's weddings offer to tie a knot. U.S. airlines few passengers amid the pandemic got historically good service that may not last. The human cost of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict over the past decade, infographic. TV and films hold a unique power to shine a light on invisible disabilities. India's official COVID-19 death count crosses 250,000 as U.S. mulls joint production of J&J vaccine in country. A definitive look at MLB relocation now that the A's are exploring it. The Handmaid's Tale Season 4, Episode 5 review, a shocking reunion. Brooklyn Nets guard Kyrie Irving has no concussion symptoms after taking elbow to face. Democrat refused to let Republican lead opioid bill over his vote against Electoral College, so GOP killed it. The next headlines are from Nature.com. The epidemiological impact of the NHS COVID-19 app. How COVID broke the evidence pipeline. Evidence-based medicine, how COVID can drive positive change. Quantum drums, COVID patents and head injuries. The 100 memes that immortalize my PhD defense. SARS-CoV-2 uses a multi-pronged strategy to impede host protein synthesis. From spoons to semiconductors, we are what we make. Value of Mexican Nature Reserve is more than monetary. Stop using master-slave terminology in biology. Afghanistan, vaccinate drug users against COVID-19. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,704,677,376 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. Legacy media firms have the tools to transition to the streaming era, says analyst. Netflix orders Norwegian comedy sci-fi film blasted. ProSiebenSat, one shows slight revenue growth, projects sunny outlook despite it to entertainment business. Hong Kong government plans laws on doxing and fake news. La Zona creators Alberto and Jorge Sanchez Capizuto detail ambitious partnership with TF1's new and exclusive. Marvel's Shang-Chi, the Eternals may face uphill battle to enter China. Joe Biden, Amanda Gorman and Whoopi Goldberg celebrate CARE's 75th anniversary at a virtual special. John M. Chu, Thalachen discuss AAPI representation in Hollywood during Utah inclusion panel. Golden Globes controversy, HFPA members reeling after NBC pulls the plug. Dua Lipa, Taylor Swift and Little Mix win big at women-dominated 2021 Brit Awards, full winners list. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. GOP poised to oust Cheney from leadership over her criticism of Trump. South Carolina governor bans mask mandates. For some anti-vaccine advocates, misinformation is part of a business. How the White House is reaching out to Congress as it seeks a deal on infrastructure. 3 Fort Campbell soldiers charged in scheme to traffic guns to Chicago. Panic drives gas shortages after Colonial Pipeline ransomware attack. Norman Lloyd, who got his acting start during the New Deal, dies at 106. Andrew Brown's family views longer video footage of fatal shooting. Arizona Republicans enact sweeping changes to state's early voting list. Former Trump officials to defend federal response to Capitol riot. The following headlines are from The Week. 5 brutally funny cartoons about America's shaky economic recovery. The doom loop of a falling fertility rate. America's vaccination rate is ticking upward again. Democrats are fiddling while Republicans prepare to burn down Rome. Normalize part-time work for parents. Late-night hosts survey the creative ways America is encouraging COVID-19 vaccinations, cure foxitis. Study, in 2 decades, nearly 146 million acres of forest have regrown naturally across the world. The Daily Show's Trevor Noah carefully steps through the Israel-Palestine minefield to an honest question. Energy Secretary asks Americans to please stop hoarding gasoline. The following headlines are from the Texas Observer. Armed with lessons from a Dallas serial killer, families push for reforms in Texas law. The next headlines are from Universe Today. Astronomers see a rare double quasar in a pair of merging galaxies. Blue Origin will finally fly passengers to the edge of space in July. Starlink and OneWeb have their first avoidance maneuver with each other's constellations. How can white dwarfs produce such powerful magnetic fields? Ingenuity makes a one-way trip for the first time, flying to a new landing site. NASA is getting serious about a radio telescope on the moon. Both Uranus and Neptune have really bizarre magnetic fields. These are the news headlines for today, Wednesday, May 12th. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the third most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. The Brood X cicadas are emerging now. Astronomers photograph giant exoplanet in unusual large orbit. Meet Corvus the Crow. The next news is from Politico. Who is winning the NYC mayoral money race? Harris once opposed the border closure. As vice president, she supports it. The other targets of Biden's bipartisan outreach, mansion and cinema. Opinion: a GOP civil war, don't bet on it. Red states ready to defy Biden's aggressive indoctrination on education. Let's move on. Congress other pro-impeachment Republicans stay quiet. Grenell still weighing California recall bid as Republican field grows. Israel, Hamas escalate heavy fighting with no end in sight. Senate Democrats skeptical of extending $300 unemployment benefit. A defiant Cheney tears to into Trump, GOP, we must speak the truth. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. Standout all set to raise his hand in draft boost for North. Rich countries must donate 1 billion vaccines by September or risk new COVID-19 variants. There is no time to waste. WHO needs new powers to control future outbreaks, report says. Scott Morrison vindicated for wanting health inspectors to have more power. Investigators battle surge in self-produced child exploitation material. Storm creates multicolored Brisbane skyline, major public transport delays. A river under my house, suburban flash flooding during Brisbane storm. Gold standard, first look at the new permanent Wallabies jersey. Alan Jones keeps sparking questions at Rugby Australia, I got the answers. Won't last 5 rounds, swift justice predicted in Gualan showdown. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. The tell, climate change means public utilities will need billions in upgrades over the next decade, report says. Peter Morici, industrial policy and Fed policy are the keys to confronting inequality in China. Strong growth in March shows UK economy headed for swift recovery. Europe markets, European stocks rebound from worst day in 2021, as US futures remain negative. Kelley Blue Book, we compare the 2021 Tesla Model Y to the 2021 Jaguar I-Pace. NerdWallet, don't expect these pandemic travel trends to go away soon. Next Avenue, post-pandemic socializing, why you might need to relearn small talk. Alarm raised about India's COVID-19 variant, as pandemic keeps spreading in country. European Central Bank officials shrug off inflation fears. UK follows some US states in fight over voter ID plan for elections. Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. Marshall federal jury orders Clash of Clans, Heyday game maker to pay $92.20 to rival, Marshall News Messenger. Mechanics of COVID-19 vaccine IP waiver in view of trade-related aspects of IP rights, Lixology. Piracy, a threat to innovation. The Guardian. Nigeria News, Nigeria and World News Arts, Guardian. ABI slapped with suit from would-be Humira rival, Law 360. Patents granted to Eintendorf for inventions, Free Press Journal. BioRadco ownership defense fails at the CAFC, JD Supra. 11 million patents, milestones in the history of invention, IPWatchdog.com. How to conduct sequence-based patent searches in biotechnology domain, Lixology. Apple 152 patents today covering a pair Project Titan inventions and a major one for HomeKit, Patently Apple. Judge rejects bid to toss Caloiris patent lawsuit against Suna research arm, Times Union. The next headlines are from Quartz. Hoarding gasoline, Kupyoung earnings, affectionate whales. Snapchat wants a piece of the social marketplace. In the push for new vaccines, taxpayers keep paying and paying. Investors are starting to appreciate the business potential of vaccines. Nobody is understanding the challenges of supplying oxygen to a nation that is at war. Ride-hailing apps were cruising towards recovery, but then came India's second COVID-19 wave. Changing genes. America just entered a new era for renewable energy. Merriam-Webster has a succinct new definition of an NFT. Vaccines for kids, office banter, fugitive leopards. The following headlines are from TechDirt. One developer gets GTA 3 and Vice City source code uncat on GitHub. Appeals court says families of car crash victims can continue to sue Snapchat over its speed filter. Tech Dirt Podcast Episode 282, The Facebook Oversight Board's Trump Decision. Texas Attorney General unblocked Twitter users who sued him, still blocking others. Australian Crime Commission, only criminals use encrypted communications. Daily Deal, pay what you want. The 2021 Learn to Code JavaScript bundle. Disgraced Yale law professor now defending anti-vaxxers in court with his nonsense Section 230 ideas. Despite empty FCC promises, broadband prices jumped 19% during Trump era. Nike, USPS reach a licensing deal for USPS-inspired sneakers. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. Caitlin Bristow. Oakland A's. Norman Lloyd. Andra Day. The Voice. Rand Paul. Bob Marley. Prodigal Son. La Liga. Courtney Stodden. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. Moscow decides to expel vocal U.S. Embassy press secretary, as part of DIT4 that responds to American purge of Russian diplomats. We are heartbroken. 9-year boy dies after being struck by lightning during thunderstorm while playing football in northern England. War Crimes Court monitoring development in West Bank, ICC prosecutor registers great concern. Iran's return to oil markets is imminent. Swedish pop stars Zara Larsson labeled anti-Semite after calling on apartheid Israel to stop killing Palestinian civilians. Young English teacher gunned down in Kazan school shooting died trying to save student from teen killer, Russian media reports. Taiwan considers coronavirus lockdown as island registers record 16 domestic transmissions. Copper prices at new high on post-pandemic recovery hopes. Japan's booking platform for COVID vaccine appointment crashes as Tokyo struggles to kickstart inoculation program. Watch, Maori Party leader kicked out of New Zealand Parliament after performing haka in protest over racist propaganda. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. UBS laying off employees days after doubling bonuses to newly promoted associates. Michel Barnier calls for 3-5-year suspension of immigration into EU. Mediterranean diet may protect brain from Alzheimer's disease, study says. Estonia becomes center stage of anti-Russian military exercises. His womanizing was well known, floodgates open as biographer details Microsoft founder salacious past. Le Pen warns Macron danger of civil war looms if he doesn't handle Islamist problem. UK plans to require voter ID to ensure election integrity. How woke may be leading us to civil war. China calls UN planned event on Xinjiang total blasphemy. Bovard, Biden's America the Beautiful vision ignores Fed's dreadful record. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. Israeli army kills Palestinian teen in occupied West Bank. Global stocks see longest losing streak in 2 months. True hero, Indian police officer helping with COVID cremations. Inside Mumbai's 2,000-bed jumbo COVID hospital. Hamas leader says group ready for Israeli escalation. Why is it so difficult to hold a census in North Macedonia? In pictures, global protests in solidarity with Palestinians. Outside China, TikTok is testing in-app sale of products. Israeli bombardment escalates as Gaza death toll rises, live news. Under U.S. pressure, Mexico orders GM to repeat worker vote. The next headlines are from Breitbart. Palestinian rockets kill several Arab Israelis, including 7-year-old girl. CNN's Cooper, Rand Paul disrespecting medical science by confronting Fauci on COVID origins. Fed issue emergency declaration for 17 states, D.C. after hackers attack largest U.S. pipeline. Kaepernick editing, publishing essays calling for the abolition of police and prisons. Exclusive Maria Cantwell uses anti-China plan to possibly steer $10 billion moon landing contract to Bezos' own space company in her state. Japan processes record number of Chinese refugees in 2020. Padilla, increasingly clear among Dems we might not have free and fair elections without For the People Act. Ken Buck lets Liz Cheney hijack House cancel culture debate on eve of her political demise. Bella and Gigi Hadid use social media accounts to support Palestinians. DeSantis, kids do not need to be wearing these masks in class come fall semester. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. Pulling vodka from the air, this award-winning carbon-negative spirit comes from captured CO2. Newly discovered species of saber-toothed cat was so big it hunted rhinos in America. Folks in New Jersey are caring for more than 800 baby turtles rescued from storm drains. Study arts and science together like Da Vinci did, and you'll get best outcome, researchers say. Rome Coliseum visitors to finally get gladiators view with high-tech amphitheater floor. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Wednesday, May 12th. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. See how the brain wobbles with each heartbeat in incredible new videos. 10 everyday things that cause brain farts. Anti-maskers ready to start masking, to protect themselves from the vaccinated. Fire damage tractor trailer driven down road on rims video in comments. Man eats raw chicken in post-workout meal, says vegetables make you weak. Bees in the Netherlands trained to detect COVID-19 infections. Huntington Beach Mayor Pro Tem Tito Ortiz files for unemployment while still getting paid by city. Talk of Kurdish weddings code for terror plots, Turkish prosecutors say. Owners of Milwaukee bakery print burglary suspect's picture on sugar cookies. Goats return to Reagan Library to eat and create a firebreak. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. Huawei eavesdropped on 6.5 million Dutch mobile users, here's how. Former F1 designer plans to make world's lightest app. My startup tripled in size in 2020, here's what I learned. Instagram can now display your pronouns directly on your profile. What the Colonial Pipeline ransomware attack can teach us about national cybersecurity defense. Intel's 11th Gen Tiger Lake H chips promise 19% faster laptop performance. How to understand speaker measurements, and why they matter. IBM Think 2021 kicks off with AI innovations and some interesting quantum news. A closer look at how Buenos Aires plans to cut emissions in half by 2030. Facebook banned from processing WhatsApp user data in Germany. The following headlines are from Science Daily. How fasting diets could harm future generations. Newly described horned dinosaur from New Mexico was the earliest of its kind. How one of the oldest natural insecticides keeps mosquitoes away. New ancient shark discovered. Engineering study shows renewable energy will enhance power grid's resilience. Lighting up biology from within. Lichen slow to return after wildfire. Electromagnetic levitation whips nanomaterials into shape. Discovering candidate for reflex network of walking cats, understanding animals with robots. How to predict severe influenza in hospitalized patients. The next headlines are from Information Week. How to optimize legacy systems for forward-looking change. The 6 dimensions of a winning resilience strategy. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Wednesday, May 12th from over 100 sources to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. Utah's Greek festival is back on after 2020 event was cancelled. Police response to Cottonwood Heights protest was appropriate, Attorney General's office finds. Body recovered from Holiday Pond after kayaking accident. Salt Lake City officer charged with another felony as review of K-9 attacks continues. Rio Tinto Stadium lifts mask mandate for upcoming RSL home game. Bagley cartoon, wrong recall. Another 11 Utahns die of COVID-19. Before home finale versus Blazers, the Utah Jazz give a glass-half-full account of Monday night's loss. High school lacrosse players accused of using racist slurs to opponents after recent game. Gordon Monson, are you a cheater? Is cheating worth it? Will it ever end? The next headlines are from Slashdot, tech news for nerds. NASA's OSIRIS-REx spacecraft heads for Earth with asteroid sample. Biden administration approves nation's first major offshore wind farm. Ford patents tech that could scan billboards and show associated in-car ads. Forests the size of France regrown since 2000, study suggests. Apple faces UK class action for App Store overcharging. Some countries have no COVID-19 jabs at all. California ban on gas-powered cars would rewrite plug-in hybrid rules. Impossible burgers are coming to U.S. schools. eBay embraces NFTs. Amazon and others ordered 2/diesel pollution from warehouse trucks. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. Missouri gas tax hike heads to Governor Parson's desk. Missouri regulators scramble to reopen a DMV amidst bizarre controversy. Animal shelters see a slight increase in surrenders. Contact 2, local real estate boom extends to new home construction. You paid for it, raw sewage backs up into East St. Louis homes. Bill on Parson's desk could allow over-the-counter HIV emergency medication. Help wanted, Missouri governor shrinks unemployment benefits, citing labor shortage. Jack Nicklaus to redesign Normandy Golf Course in Belnor. Get the shot, get Cardinals tickets, Busch Stadium to host vaccination event. Cardinals to increase capacity at Busch Stadium later this month. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. Hotels offering hiring incentives for new employees. Oceanside Unified to fully reopen classrooms this fall. Residents await decision on proposed placement for sexually violent predator. Future of outdoor dining uncertain in San Diego. Timeline, the disappearance of Chula Vista mom Maya Milite. Tips sought after woman found dead in her car. Man faces 10 years in prison for bringing Molotov cocktails to La Mesopolis protest. 100 undocumented migrants have died trying to enter U.S. this year. Padres Tatis, Myers test positive for virus, 3 others out. SDUSD superintendent confirmed as U.S. Deputy Education Secretary. The next headlines are from SpookNews.com. NQ man cuts off GPS tracker before stealing iPhone. U.S. officials suspect Russia for directed energy attacks against. Where is the spy headed next? Options traders aren't so sure right now. Police spy admits women would not have agreed to sex if they knew his identity. Kiefer Sutherland to star in spy drama series for Paramount Plus from John Requa and Glenn Ficarra. Lawsuit, Aiken Airbnb hosts installed hidden camera in bedroom to secretly film female guests. Senate spy panel leader questions pulling U.S. Space Command from Colorado Springs. Have Elon Musk's Chinese fans fallen out of love with Tesla? 2023 Kia Sportage Spy Shots, next-gen crossover takes on more dynamic look. Swara Basker calls Israel apartheid state, gets brutally trolled. The following headlines are from Defense Blog. South Korea unveils design for future military transport aircraft. Cobb wins $7.1 million U.S. Navy contract for water-activated parachute release systems. U.S. Navy releases footage of incident in Strait of Hormuz with Iranian Navy forces. Kongsberg gets $499 M contract modification for cruise systems. Sale of Aegis combat system to Canada approved. The next headlines are from SupChina, top news about China. China's anti-American boycott of 1905. China census results show 6-decade low in number of births. Q&A, Silicon Valley's China whisperer Connie Chan on her investment strategy. Death of Chinese high schooler ruled as suicide, leaving families skeptical and questions unanswered. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Wednesday, May 12, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. South Bay wildfire concerns, firefighters battle multiple brush fires. New California Attorney General pledges focus on hate crimes. Former Fremont elementary teacher charged with sexually assaulting student. Bay Area rental market appears to be stabilizing. Survey: 78% of Oakland residents want more police officers. Berkeley police arrests suspect in series of anti-Semitic hate crimes. Police search for suspect who reportedly assaulted, spat on 13-year-old in Milpitas. San Francisco pastor becomes first openly transgender bishop in U.S. Reckless backseat Tesla driver arrested, CHP. Homeless advocates hope new funding will create more permanent housing in CA. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. Japan's SoftBank returns to profit on global stock boom. Internal emails reveal WHO knew of sex abuse claims in Congo. Red Cross warns that coronavirus cases are exploding in Asia. Germany to consider spending more to meet climate goal. Arlington Heights trustees spar over President pro tem post as faction insists on a woman. Abreu, Grandal homer, White Sox top Twins 9-3. Asian stocks mixed after Wall Street falls on inflation fears. What's next for Grace Kinstler on American Idol? Liz Cheney on Eve of ouster from top GOP post, Trump, backers undermine our democracy. Illinois surpasses 10 million COVID-19 shots as daily vaccination tallies rebound. The following headlines are from Seattle PI. King County purchases hotel in Seattle for supportive housing for homeless population. Photos: Washington whale watchers report Grand Slam sightings of 4 species in one day. Seattle City Council member Kshama Saad to pay $3,500 in fines and ethics commission settlement. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Green earthquake alert, magnitude 5.9 m, depth 45.95 km, in El Salvador December 5, 2021, 8:45 UTC, 1,500,000 people within 100 kilometers. Green earthquake alert, magnitude 5.6 m, depth 51.25 km, in Guatemala December 5, 2021, 6:17 UTC, 1,160,000 people within 100 kilometers. Green earthquake alert, magnitude 5.7 m, depth 109.91 km, in Philippines December 5, 2021, 1:09 UTC, 11,770,000 people within 100 kilometers. Drought is ongoing in Bolivia, Brazil. Drought is ongoing in Mozambique. Drought is ongoing in Afghanistan, China, Iran, Kazakhstan, Pakistan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. Drought is ongoing in Canada, United States. Drought is ongoing in Mexico. Drought is ongoing in Madagascar. Drought is ongoing in China, India, Nepal. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Wednesday, May 12th in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from Cypher Brief Security News and High-Level Analysis. Intelligence Sharing in a Complicated World, The Future of Five Eyes. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. Emergency program to give $50 off internet bill opens today. Texans now seeing millions from state's rental program after software issues reported. Government working to make sure gas supply is not impacted by Colonial Pipeline cyber attack. House Republicans set to oust Trump critic Liz Cheney from top post. Storm threat ending this morning, breezy and cooler temps. Surprise, Houston man turns to TED after getting $102,000 surgery bill. Israel, Hamas trade deadly fire as confrontation escalates. Police deliver Mother's Day flowers after arresting company driver for DUI. Missing mom Erica Hernandez's vehicle found submerged in Pearland Pond. 7-year-old boy drowns after being caught up in rip current in Galveston, Beach Patrol says. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. Global stocks higher after Wall Street falls on inflation fears. The latest, Pakistan calls for joint Muslim country response. Austrian Chancellor under investigation for corruption. Frustration in Japan as leader pushes Olympics despite virus. Indigenous New Zealand lawmaker censured for Hakka protest. The latest, Gaza deaths rise in Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Dutch club Ajax melts league trophy into star gifts for fans. Panel suggests WHO should have more power to stop pandemics. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. Lincoln Center's new public lawn, The Green, enchants New Yorkers. Extra, we told you the Midtown Essence was coming. Met Museum agrees to be early voting site as city expands to 104 locations. Pandemic shakes up NYC middle school admissions and enrollment. 3 NYPD officers, including unabashedly racist cop, arrested in bribery scheme, feds. Why NY officials can mandate COVID vaccines for college students, public schools and staff, if they want to. Coronavirus statistics, tracking the epidemic in New York. All the Broadway shows opening this fall, and how to get tickets. How the mayoral candidates will make housing more affordable in NYC. Early edition, Kevin Smith would like to remind you that he invented Benifer. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. India under siege from COVID-19, the worst yet to come. Biogas in Argentina, turning an environmental problem into a solution. One Health approach key to tackling Africa's challenges. Islamic Social Financing Initiative aims to help economic recovery, pandemic response. Credible elections can help propel Iraq towards safe and prosperous future. UN chief, deadly school shooting in Russia an act of senseless violence. Vaccine inequity posing significant risk to global economic recovery, UN report. UN chief gravely concerned as violence escalates in occupied Palestinian territory and Israel. Pakistanis in Italy, against all odds. Kenya's dryland farmers embrace regenerative farming to brave tough climate. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. Bayer Monsanto fails, at first attempt, to block Mexico's phase-out of glyphosate and ban on GMO corn. Andrew Yang, key, champion of memes, math and murder. Chelsea Clinton calls for global crackdown on anti-vax social media posts. Millions of public transit touch-and-go smartphone users can be tracked by law enforcement. The Israel narrative is crumbling because of phone cameras and the internet. CDC risk of coronavirus transmission outdoors greatly exaggerated, bombshell report finds. May their progeny be erased, Israelis celebrate as fire rages near Al-Aqsa Mosque on Jerusalem Day. Unhinged leftist Betty Midler threatens to kill unvaccinated kids. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. Bear has close call on utility poles in Arizona border city. Judge dismisses NRA bankruptcy case in blow to gun group. Pitcher's prosthetic arm found at recycler. Did Bob Marley say this about the perfect woman? MLB tells athletics to explore relocation if no new ballpark is funded. Prosecutor plans to seek death penalty in Atlanta spa shootings. Democrats press for broader voting access as GOP resists. Norman Lloyd dies at 106, starred in Saboteur and Saint Elsewhere. Does highlight opal glow green when exposed to UV light? Is the internet trying to cancel Snow White? The next headlines are from factcheck.org. Both sides spinning jobs report. No scientific basis for vaccine shedding claims. We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. I'm getting into gardening this spring thanks to this kit from Bloomscape. Shrill ends on its best season yet thanks to a heart-bursting queer romance. Why Biden's push for vaccine patent waivers won't save India. Meet Dariana San Juan, the costume designer who helped Ewan McGregor become Halston. How Instagram models kneecap Matt Gaetz. The Jean Smartassons has arrived, inside her spectacular Hacks and Mayor of Easttown performances. McCarthy bows before the big lie, axes Cheney, and begs Trump to eat him last. Rudy's dodgy Ukraine dossier now part of Fed probe against him. MTV's Are You the One? Contestants claim show was rigged and racism covered up. The next headlines are from the New York Post. Patrick Mazzicca quickly becoming Mets' lucky charm. Luke Voit hit in hand in first game back with Yankees but feeling good. Mets' Brandon Nimmo could return to lineup this weekend. Florida cheerleader, 13, was stabbed a horrific amount of times, sheriff says. Broken nose doesn't stop Nets Bruce Brown, he's just a winner. The following headlines are from astronomy.com. Ask Astro I, what happened to the sun's original star cluster? Ask Astro I, are the outer planets moving away from the sun? The Nebra Sky Disk, is the world's oldest star map really a map at all? You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. Pfizer says its vaccine is 100% effective in kids 12 to 15. Biden administration combats slowing coronavirus vaccination pace. Pfizer vaccine could be available for ages 2 and up by fall. NOAA releases updated temperature and rainfall averages. Spacecraft carrying historic asteroid samples begins journey to Earth. Doctor discusses the likelihood of herd immunity in Biden's pandemic response. Space experts call China negligent for gambling with rocket re-entry. FDA authorizes Pfizer's COVID vaccine for adolescents. California governor expands drought emergency. Doctor cautions against lifting COVID-19 restrictions too quickly. The following headlines are from alienUFOsightings.com. Time traveler reveals future map of the U.S. after devastating events, 2020 to 2025. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. Missing Houston woman's car found in pond with body inside. India is dealing with a deadly black fungus as the country continues to battle COVID-19. 4 of the 5 living ex-presidents along with other special guests commemorate the 75th anniversary of CARE International. Video, largest residential building in Gaza collapses after Israeli airstrike. Boy sells Pokemon cards to pay for puppy surgery. Brett Favre still hasn't paid Mississippi $600,000 he promised, state says. Filmmaker claims Los Angeles Police Department uncle ordered him shot with projectiles during George Floyd protest. Designated drunk driver hits 3 parked car, starts fire, police. Accused Atlanta spa shooter indicted by second grand jury as murder charges mount. Nepal government begging Everest climbers to return used oxygen canisters as it combats second wave of COVID-19. The following headlines are from military.com. University president apologizes for plagiarizing remarks by famous Navy SEAL McRaven. Pilot gets airmanship award for crash landing A-10 after gun malfunction. Pentagon chief during January 6 riot defends military response. VA nursing aide Retta Mays gets 7 life sentences for killing veterans in her care. Watch the Navy and Coast Guard's risky encounter with Iranian speedboats. Rockets kill 2 Israelis, 28 die in Gaza as Israel hits Hamas. Army brass non-committal on push to remove COs from sexual assault prosecution decisions. Army wants 485K active duty soldiers, the force it had on 9/11. National Guard soldier finds bag of guns at US Mexico border. Marine rifle squads will test the Army's new high-power night vision goggle binoculars. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. Column, a one-of-a-kind person and mentor, Jim Mabey's legacy includes helping 3 young men dream big. Column, Bo Obama and the void that dogs leave behind. Soldier field security firm worker shoots longtime acquaintance to death over worker's wife visiting with her ex-boyfriend, prosecutors say. Woman seriously injured in hit and run in Lakeview. 3 U.S. Army soldiers accused of illegally selling weapons used in Chicago shootings. With younger teens now vaccine eligible, schools aim to be their source for COVID-19 shots, make it available in a place they already are. Coronavirus in Illinois updates, state passes 10 million COVID-19 vaccine doses administered, 1,562 new cases and 26 deaths reported Tuesday. COVID-19 vaccines for kids 12 to 15 begin at Chicago city-run sites Thursday, no appointment needed. The Spin, Rahm Emanuel to soon get President Biden's nod as Japan ambassador, reports Pritzker's budget for adults with disabilities falls short, critics say Illinois House gets shot and bear legislation. Ambassador Rahm Emanuel, former Chicago mayor reportedly President Joe Biden's pick for Japan. The following headlines are from phys.org. Brand new physics of superconducting metals refuted by Lancaster physicists. Ancestors may have created iconic sounds as bridge to first languages. Harnessing the hum of fluorescent lights for more efficient computing. Higher antibiotic doses may make bacteria fitter, study. Same gene drives male water striders' long legs and the inclination to use them as weapons. Pre-bunk tactics reduce public susceptibility to COVID-19 conspiracies and falsehoods. COVID-19 pet boom has veterinarians backlogged, burned out. Beyond vaccines, UNESCO wants more global science shared. Nearly a fifth of Earth's surface transformed since 1960. Millions at risk as cities fail to adapt to climate change, report. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Wednesday, May 12th, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. Shock game versus Hertha goes ahead despite third virus case. Kazakhstan Davis Cup tennis player banned for corruption. Official says fire at intensive care unit in Egypt hospital kills 2 patients. EU economy to expand, bouncing back from pandemic crisis. Leading off, Padres depleted by virus, Harvey versus Mets. The following headlines are from mercurynews.com. Horoscopes May 12, 2021, Domhnall Gleeson, keep your life in perspective. Word game, May 12, 2021. Bridge, May 12, 2021. Ask Amy, why doesn't my husband see the truth about his friend? Harriet Cole, I'm planning a solo trip, what do I tell my live-in partner? Miss Manners, how do I tell my son's girlfriend I expect her to make the bed? Dear Abby, is there any reason to stay in a marriage like mine? Fremont teacher charged with sexual assault. Fatal crash reported in North San Jose. Prep basketball, Kay Bennett's three-pointer wins game for Camp Orlando after De La Salle erases 19-point deficit. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. Kremlin-imposed cuts at U.S. Embassy leave thousands adrift. Escalating Mideast violence bears hallmarks of 2014 Gaza war. Judge asked to okay evidence of Ahmaud Arbery's past troubles. Public service in the U.S., increasingly thankless, exhausting. Interstate 40 over Mississippi closed after crack discovered in bridge. Critical infrastructure entities warned to prepare for cyber attacks. Andrew Brown Jr. police body camera footage contradicts prosecutor, lawyer says. Gavin Newsom recall rebate vows directly payment stimulus checks. Relief programs lead to massive fraud, spike in identity theft. The next headlines are from The Intercept. Big Pharma's deadly COVID vaccine monopoly. Andrew Yang cannot explain when asked why he supports Israel bombing Gaza. Divide over controversial UPS contract defines Teamsters presidential election. With a crowded progressive field, Wall Street's candidate gains steam in Manhattan race. This is not fine, why video of an ultranationalist frenzy in Jerusalem is so unsettling. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Wednesday, May 12, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from Eureka Alert. New study, kefir package claims don't always accurately reflect composition of commercial products. Artificial intelligence tool uses chest X-ray to differentiate worst cases of COVID-19. Pink drinks can help you run faster and further, study finds. CNIO researchers discover the cause of neuronal death in a large proportion of familial ALS patients. Petting therapy dogs enhances thinking skills of stressed college students. How social media and AI enable companies to track brand reputations in real time. Eliminating bias from healthcare AI critical to improve health equity. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. Men arrested after standoff with SWAT in Cragen. 2 killed, 5 wounded, Tuesday in Chicago. Police seeking vehicle wanted for hit and run last year in Logan Square. Man missing from South Chicago. Cease keeps it together, Grandal and a brew homer as White Sox defeat Twins. Man fatally shot in West Rogers Park, police. 1 killed in Lawndale shooting, police. Bulls fall to Nets, now on brink of elimination. Women seriously hurt in Lake Hewitt and run. She didn't have to go like that, family of 12-year-old girl killed in fatal shooting in Hazel Crest gather for a vigil. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Wednesday, May 12, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. Best and worst off-season moves of Houston Texans GM Nick Caserio. Houston Concert Watch 5/12, Brent Cobb, Kendall Marvel and more. Rockets longtime TV announcer Bill Worrell retires. Mayor Turner unveils proposed 2022 city budget that he says he'll already be amending next week. Remembering Jim Henley, who showed what it means to make an impact. Abbott gets first real right-wing challenge as Patrick secures Trump's vote of confidence. Not getting vaccinated isn't freedom. Aaron Rodgers is stiff competition in Texans' Deshaun Watson trade market. Here's your chance to catch up on the Nick, Warrior and Banshee now on HBO Max. A Whole Day Ramble, the first annual Brooklyn Twang Festival. The next headlines are about world records making news. Lily King joins IU and Carmel swimmers in Indianapolis for pre-Tokyo Olympics tune-up, Indy star. India coronavirus death toll passes 250,000, variant spreads, France 24. Say duo breaks world record running up and down Table Mountain 14 times live. India's daily COVID-19 deaths rise by record 4,205, Reuters India. Nauru vaccinates all its adults in world record effort, France 24. Binghamton baseball fans welcome back the Rumble Ponies, WNBF.com. Frozen lakes and underground waterfalls, inside the Dark Star Deep Cave System, BBC Focus magazine. The Guinness Book of World Records connected to the Eurovision Song Contest, Aussie Vision. Watch a world record attempt with free cocktails at Welcome to Thornbury, Time Out Melbourne. Truman Medical Center's nurse seeks to break record kayaking Mississippi River, KSHB. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. Chicago police started secret drone program using untraceable cache, report. The Realm 5G is a refreshingly simple and cheap 5G phone. Castlevania's final season gets there, in the end. Benefits of petting a therapy dog last for weeks after cuddle sessions, study finds. A hacker gang has been trying to extort DC police for $4 million. Twitter censors, then uncensors, Palestinian journalist's account. Untitled Earth Sim 64 asks, what would you do if the world was a simulation? If you didn't watch these Indiana Jones 4K Ultra HD trailers you chose poorly. Trump is a low ratings, computer blogging loser. Open channel, which monster movie bug should inherit the Earth? What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was in Guzam in Algeria at 114.26 degrees Fahrenheit or 45.7 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was Concordia in Antarctica at minus 105.16 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 76.2 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. Aston Martin's new boss tells us about the future of the company. Famed Arthurian tale comes to silver screen in the Green Knight trailer. Rare fungal infections that destroy eyeballs and kill are on the rise in India. Ransomware crooks post cop psych evaluations after talks with DC police stall. NVIDIA's RTX 3050 brings ray tracing and DLSS to $800 laptops. GitHub reverses takedown of River-engineered GTA source code. Intel claims its new Tiger Lake H CPUs for laptop speed AMD's Ryzen 5000. Our fave gentleman thief is back for revenge in trailer for Lupin Part 2. Baltimore chief prosecutor asks FCC to stop negative news coverage about her. Apple's MagSafe wireless charger is on sale for a new low price today. The following headlines are from Raw Story. Senate Democrats face an existential choice, kill filibuster or watch democracy die. These key defects in the Constitution threaten democracy because we ignored the warnings. Red MAGA hats and a ticked-off Trump will be making its way back to center stage in a city near you. Mike Lindell's South Dakota rally, Proud Boys, Joe Piscopo and a cannot miss investment. Why Anna Duggar stays, a woman who left Quiverful movement says there's a huge martyrs mentality. Stephen Colbert has a cure for fake insurrectionist disease Foxitis. Trump's Pentagon chief will testify they were concerned deploying National Guard would look like martial law. Matt Gaetz goes down in flames trying to attack fellow Republican Adam Kinzinger. Caitlyn Jenner caught in lie about voting in 2020. Proof that politics makes you stupid, Chris Cuomo tears too into Ted Cruz for calling voting rights Jim Crow 2.0. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. The real reason behind the misinformation epidemic in online moms groups. A radical idea for forcing vaccine companies to share knowledge with the world. Judge says NRA isn't bankrupt and cannot move out of New York to avoid lawsuit. Hundreds of schools are using this air purifier to fight COVID. A lawsuit says it releases toxic chemicals. The right is very excited. An unelected monarch announced a new voter suppression policy. ICE allowed COVID-19 breakouts and concealed hospitalizations, a new report shows. Before Elise Stefanik became a Trump cult leader, she said he was misogynistic and soft on Putin. It's not just a pipeline. Ransomware attacks are proliferating across the country. FEMA offers cash to house local homeless, but cities aren't claiming it. The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. Demi Lovato to front alien documentary entertainment InsideNova.com, Inside Nova. NSF, NASA award funds Las Cruces professors research on how planets form, KRWG. The following items are today's top search results for the term neuroplasticity. Global neuromorphic computing market booming segments, investors seeking growth IBM, Samsung Electronics, Intel Corporation, HRL Laboratories, KSU The Sentinel Newspaper, KSU The Sentinel Newspaper. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Wednesday, May 12, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. The following is from the UFO Chronicles. The origins of UFO secrecy. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Wednesday, May 12, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. News i8 is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2021 by News i8. All rights reserved.